All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography biz. We're actually going to check out, see if it's local and city, combined local city search here has BSS, yes or no. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. And more on this, pinned video, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC graph in white here. Highest intent people on the left. These are the peeps searching literally today for boudoir photo shoot in their city. We focus on those peeps here with our BSS videos about BSS because these are highest intent, easiest to convert, closest to the money people. Over on the right, our lowest intent people. We talk about those with our sister brand of Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we talk about BLCS. And currently over there, we only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. Now, BSS means boudoir search sameness. That means a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. 0 slots on page 1 on Google means obviously, they're on page 2 or deeper, somewhere deeper. And we care about this because we know approximately 80% of Google searches never ever even hit page 2. They're page 1 and done searches, that's it. Which means if we're on page 2, we're invisible to approximately 80% of the market. And 1 slot on page 1 of Google, that ain't good either because, there's 10 organic slots page 1 on Google. If 9 other boudoir photographers each have 1 slot, everyone's looking the same, everyone's got 1 slot. We're not saying that, we're basically invisible, and guess what? A boudoir photographer or a boudoir buyer, their behavior is going to be just clicking through everyone on page 1. Well, approximately 80% of the boudoir buyers, they're only going to be clicking through everyone on page 1. They'll never go to page 2. And they'll be comparing everyone on page 1. And as a result, they will, filling out everyone's contact form, getting price quotes, negotiating, pulling down the price, asking for more. It's kind of annoying to deal with, to run a business that way. And most of them won't even go with us. So it's like, man, what's even the point? Now, 0 1 slots on page 1 of Google is actually not normal. It is a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, the number one thing there is, well, basically everyone knows this. This is more boudoir photographers entering the market over time. Just simply as people upgrade their gear, kind of like get a new iPhone, get a new camera. This just naturally happens. Then eventually they throw up their Google My Business profile saying they're a boudoir photographer. They've got their website ranking on page 1 on Google or competing to, saying they shoot boudoir photography. They are also increasingly posting in the mom groups on Facebook that that they now offer boudoir photo shoots. And a big market saturation time with COVID, tons of people lost their jobs, so they earn money. Everyone's got a super powered smartphone with awesome camera. Tons of people became boudoir photographers in that time. Now, the false belief of page 1 equality. This is the new one that very few people know about. So what this is actually a lot of boudoir photographers have kind of assumed or accepted that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google. And it's kind of like, yeah, whether Google wants to give you that slot, yes or no. And maybe you're on, who knows, slot 7, page 1, slot 7. Then some market saturation happened. Now you're on page 2, slot 2. And a lot of boudoir photographers are like, oh, well, I hope those new peeps, delete their website and Google de-indexes them. So maybe Google will bring me back up onto page 1. But no, this is 100% incorrect. This is the wrong way to think about it, because what we have learned and we have the data to show is Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots on Google as we want, and we actually do put in the effort to acquire. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days with this new methodology we discovered. So that's how we know the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. Now, boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. Again, if we got 0 slots page 1 Google search, that means we're page 2 or deeper, we're invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. If we got 1 slot page 1 on Google, we're looking the same as the other 9 competitors that are on there for a total of 10 slots. We're still invisible, we're still disappearing, we're slowly dying. So both these scenarios, it's kind of the canary in the coal mine, kind of the warning light, the red flag. that's telling us our boudoir photography business itself is now on its way to disappearing. But thankfully, we now have a solution. We've discovered that BSS is actually treated with social search saturation, aka our S-cubed methodology. And we know this because we invented it. That's how we went from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google in only 10 days. We'll see that data here, I don't know, like 4 or 5 more pictures. Now, S-cubed methodology, the way it works, it's exactly in the name. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, so we show up there for those. And this is kind of like, when we do this, it's kind of like the snow at the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America on the eastern side, the backside. Snow back there. What eventually happens is that snow melts, small streams, small rivers, and guess what? It all flows into the Amazon River. That Amazon River is Google page 1. But to get all that water there, first got to be snow at the top of the mountains. So saturating social search, that's our snow. That's where everything begins. That's the input we care about, our S-cubed methodology. Everything flows from successfully executing S-cubed methodology correctly. And the interesting thing about this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that actually enables them, that gives them a chance for their business to continue to grow, even in the face of market saturation, and even if they don't have a large, well-known brand, and to do all this give them this opportunity in a relatively quick time frame. The only other shot would obviously to have a large, well-known brand to compete against market saturation. But dude, that takes 5 to 10 years. We ain't got that time. We got AI taking people's jobs. We don't have time. We don't have 5 to 10 years to build a large, well-known brand. What's actually interesting is utilizing S-cubed methodology. My estimates is it will actually speed up the process of creating a large, well-known brand in an area by approximately 8x, because it'll be seen with such a much higher frequency across so many more platforms. That's my estimates. It's kind of like a secondary benefit of utilizing this technology. So now an example. All right, so right now we're going to Phoenix, and there are currently 1 million boudoir photographers in Phoenix. We are one of them. Since we don't have a large, well-known brand, then the only way we can, everyone's got their websites and their boudoir photographer competing page 1 in Google search. So since nobody's got any of those since there's so many competitors, we realize, all right, we got to use S-cubed methodology to get out of this mess. Let's say we crank it up to the max. Let's say we're ranked for the first 300 slots across all of social search for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And let's say that flows out onto Google. And we're taking up the first 300 organic slots on Google. And we know it's 10 organic slots per page on Google. And so as a result, we're taking up literally the first 30 pages. And we are basically, for any boudoir buyer to find in any of our competitors, they got to scroll down to slot 301. And on Google, that's page 31. I mean, who's doing that? Basically no one. So when any boudoir buyer is actually searching for, any boudoir photo shoot in our city or any high intent boudoir buyer keyword in our city, we're basically the only ones showing up. And as a result, we, whose business is growing? Most likely ours. Whose business is dying, fading, disappearing? Most likely the other 999,999 boudoir photographers that buyers really can't even find them because we're saturating all the surfaces where they could be found. So this is kind of a ultra extreme example of what S-cubed methodology can enable for a boudoir photography business. Now, once you're with S-cubed methodology, we have page 1 visibility, P1V. Yeah, we get our initial benefit, more slots page 1 on Google. But our second initial benefit of every new slot we get page 1 on Google, we actually get, we're actually kicking our competing boudoir photographers in our city off that page. And we actually make them invisible because now they're on page 2 or deeper, and we already know approximately 80% of Google searches are page 1 only searches. So we can basically choose to make our competitors disappear and put their business on the path of disappearing with depending on how much effort we want to put into acquiring all these slots. Now, page one visibility activates Boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. So this is where the GBC universe has a recommended minimum of having minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one Google search. That's because all the other boudoir photographers will basically have 1 slot, so we're going to be dominating them for buyers scrolling page 1. And on the ultra rare case, someone has 2 slots, we're going to be dominating them as well because we have 3. We also know that boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, VBP. So we got our full basically our full kind of got our full micro universe here. We got a disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness caused by the dual horns of market saturation and page one equality, the false belief page one equality. We can now solve it with S-cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. Just kind of our micro universe here. And now we're gonna look at my results. So the results that I got, purely using S-cubed methodology. So I want to dominate rank for this keyword, BLCS boudoir. I want to dominate page one Google search. And let's see the results I got with it. So we're getting slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. And slot 10, me. So the best thing about this is from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search in only 10 days, purely utilizing S-cubed methodology. Now, main event here, we're going to check out this boudoir photography business, going to check out their local and city search. Looks like we got them combined here. Their local and city search and see if they got BSS, yes or no. So we're going to Kalamazoo, Michigan. All right, so we're over here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Let's see what we got. Kalamazoo. All right, boom, we got one. All right, we got 2. All right, so we got, all right, so for local / city search combined, we got 2 out of 10 page 1 slots in Google, so do not have BSS, but we are not meeting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search. And so these are the results that we see. All right, so if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've done your local and city searches already for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, and you've seen that you have either 0 or 1 slots for at least one of them, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots for at least one of them. And so you're saying you got BSS boudoir search sameness. You understand that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. Google actually gives us many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And you're saying S-cubed methodology is the only method that can get us that many slots in that short of a time frame. And you like the initial benefits, more page 1 slots Google search, and also you really like the other initial benefit, kicking competing boudoir photographers off page 1 Google search, effectively putting them on page 2 or deeper, effectively making them invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. You think that's pretty cool. And you're thinking ahead, you understand market saturation, yeah, more peeps trickle into the marketplace as they get new gear, yeah. But you're also looking ahead, you're seeing, wow, AI is already taking a bunch of people's jobs, and it's actually going to be taking more and more people's jobs in the future as it gets better and better. So what actually needs to happen is you're actually seeing, wow, actually a much larger wave of boudoir photographers is going to be entering the marketplace over time, up over and above the peeps that are coming because of upgraded gear. And you're realizing you actually need to fortify your position on page 1 Google search, and essentially have so many links that Google can't even rank all your links page 1 on Google search, and now you're starting to stuff page 2, 3, and 4. Basically fortify your position, basically guarantee no current boudoir photographer ever has any chance to rank page 1, and basically guarantee no future boudoir photographer that enters the marketplace after AI takes their job has any chance of sitting on page 1 or ranking on page 1 either. And fortifying your position, basically like fortifying the levees down in Nolens, Louisiana, because that city is below sea level. So got to fortify it against the ocean. And chain execute methodology is the only solution to do this, the only path forward to do this, because you also want to achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, and have boudoir search visibility, because you need these things on your path to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also like the future benefits of utilizing SQ methodology successfully every day, which are we're building up these, initial or invisible thematic keyword columns, kind of like plugged in to our brand, all around our brand, for the specific keywords that we're trying to rank for. And as we do this more and more, we're increasing our repetition, relevance, frequency, authority, and age of all those invisible thematic keyword columns around us, plugged into us. Our name, our business name, our brand names, our social handles, all kind of existing out there on the internet. And you understand every day we increase kind of the power of these, or the frequency of these, or the volume of these, are actually increasing the probability we're ranked up here in the top. Recommend AI overview, because we're building this back into AI mindshare with doing all these things. As we grow our AI mindshare through successfully executing SQ methodology every day, also increasing probability every single day AI search recommends us. ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, all comes increased probability to be recommended there from executing SQ methodology successfully every single day. And AI search growing every single day, more and more people using it every single day. And AI, last time I used AI to search for boudoir photographers in a city, I was using ChatGPT, and I searched in a city for boudoir photographers, and it gave me 3. And then I went to actually look, how many, kind of a manual search, Google manual and Facebook manual search, and dude, I found like 60. It's like, man, we got to find any way possible to get in one of these 3 AI search slots, and we're seeing SQ methodology provides exactly what the AI wants to see. These invisible thematic keyword columns, all attributed to our brand, increasingly over time. You also like in the future benefit of, we can grow to be a large, well-known brand in our area, and perhaps even larger than our immediate radius, approximately 8x faster than traditional methods. You also like in that my current plan is to work with only one boudoir photographer per city, so you're liking you can get all these benefits and actually prevent all your competitors from getting these benefits at the same time. Actually give you a chance to get your links page one, build up the back, kind of the supply of backlinks that could be on page one, but are actually stuck on page 2, 3, and 4, and fortify your position, build up your AI mindshare momentum in the back end with all these invisible thematic keyword columns being applied to you and your brand, and just really put a massive gap between you and every other single competitor in your city, or essentially they'll never even be able to catch up. So you're liking all that, and you decide to be a first mover in your city to adopt this technology because you understand the converse scenario, which is if one of your boudoir photographer competitors signs on with me first, they get all those links on page one, you're getting kicked out to page 2, 3, and 4 and deeper, becoming super invisible, definitely disappearing. Your business is on the path to disappearing. We're fortifying your competitor's position. We're building up their AI mindshare in the back end with their invisible thematic keyword columns that feed into the kind of AI, brain on the internet. And we're building a massive gap between me and your competitor and you. And the only way you could compete, since I can't work with you, is you'd have to rederive SQ methodology on your own. You would then have to, you'd never actually be 100% confident you've rederived it correctly. And you'd have to execute it successfully every single day. And once you did that, all that would happen is you would be maintaining the current gap me and your competitor have on you, because we're also doing it every single day. And so to gain on us, you would have actually double and triple executing us every single day, which you would probably not feel confident putting in the time into, because again, you would not be 100% confident you've even derived the system, the technology correctly in the first place. And let's say you did all that, you'd have to do, who'd even have 80 hours a day to do all this stuff? So you decide to screw all that. You decide to be the first mover in your city. Don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. We'll, well, our DMs are currently closed, but shoot us that's because the hospital is currently closed for new patient intake. But when we do open our doors, shoot us a DM, and we'll see if you qualify for utilizing our S cubed methodology.